Hey music makers! Every day artists release incredible music that never reaches its full potential. And surprisingly, it's usually not because the song isn't good enough. More often than not, artists make the same handful of mistakes before and after they release their music. Mistakes that limit their reach, hurt their growth, and make it harder to build a sustainable career. The frustrating part? Most artists don't realize they're making them. So, in this video, we're breaking down some of the biggest release mistakes independent artists make, why they matter, and how you can avoid them on your next release. Because sometimes, the difference between a release that grows and a release that disappears isn't the music itself, it's the strategy behind it. Independent artists have more opportunities than ever before. You no longer need a major label to get your music onto streaming platforms. You can build an audience from your bedroom, reach listeners around the world, and track exactly how your music is performing thanks to distributors like RouteNote. But with that freedom comes responsibility. See, releasing music today isn't just about finishing a song and uploading it online. Artists need to think about who they distribute their music with, how listeners will discover their music, where it's available, and how they'll build momentum after release. The good news? Most artists aren't held back by a lack of talent. They're held back by a few avoidable mistakes. Let's start with the first one. One of the biggest mistakes artists make is assuming only a handful of platforms matter. Now don't get me wrong, Spotify is huge, but your listeners aren't all in one place. Some people use Apple Music, some prefer YouTube Music, others listen through Amazon Music, Deezer, Tidal, and dozens of other services around the world. Plus, it's easy to overlook social platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts, despite them being crucial for music discovery in today's social-first landscape. If your music isn't available where listeners want to hear it, you're creating unnecessary barriers between your music and potential fans. And here's the simple truth: you can't gain listeners on platforms where your music doesn't exist. This becomes even more important as audiences become increasingly fragmented. Discovery doesn't happen in one place anymore. A listener might hear your track on TikTok, save it on Spotify, then watch its video on YouTube. The more places your music exists, the more opportunities you create for discovery. That's why it's important to think carefully about distribution before you release. The right distribution partner should help you reach listeners wherever they're listening, because every platform is another chance to be discovered. Imagine trying to improve your music career while refusing to look at any of your results. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what many artists do. They release music, they post about it, they hope for the best, and then they never look at the data. Yet, modern music platforms and distributors like RouteNote provide detailed insights for artists to use. You can see where listeners are located, which songs are performing best, which releases are being saved, which countries are responding, and where your audience is growing. That's valuable information, and using data removes the guesswork and helps inform a strategy. Maybe your biggest audience is in a country you've never promoted to. Maybe one track is resonating more than everything else. Maybe listeners are discovering you through a platform you barely pay attention to. Those insights can completely change your next move. See, the artists who grow fastest aren't always the most talented. They're often the ones paying the closest attention. That's why having access to reliable analytics is so important. The best decisions come from understanding what's actually happening, not what you think is happening. When you're starting out, it's easy to get excited by any opportunity, but not every deal is a good deal. Some artists find themselves stuck with long contracts. Others get bogged down by unexpected fees they don't even fully understand. Some agree to royalty splits without knowing exactly what they're giving away, and some discover too late that leaving isn't as easy as they expected. Before you work with any distributor, service, or partner, ask yourself 3 questions. How am I getting paid? What rights am I giving away? What happens if I want to leave? If you don't know the answers, keep asking questions, because transparency matters, flexibility matters, control matters. Your music is one of your most valuable assets, and a bad agreement can create problems that last far longer than a single release. Never confuse getting your music out quickly with making a smart long-term decision. This might be the most common mistake of all, trying to do everything yourself. Being independent doesn't mean you have to figure it out alone. Yet, countless artists spend hours jumping between random YouTube videos, outdated forum posts, Reddit threads, and conflicting advice from random people on the internet. Sure, there may be some useful stuff out there, but it often comes at the cost of confusion and a lot of wasted time. The music industry is already complicated enough, and the smartest artists use educational content from trusted resources and seek support when they need it. If you're an independent artist, having access to trustworthy guidance can make a huge difference over the course of your career. Just think, the less time you spend searching for answers, the more time you'll have for creating. If you've noticed a pattern here, you're right. Most artists don't just make one of these mistakes. They make several. They're limiting where listeners can find their music. They're ignoring the data that could help them grow. They're signing up for deals they don't even fully understand. And they're trying to navigate the industry completely completely alone. That's why your choice of distribution partner matters more than many artists realize. A good distributor shouldn't just help you upload music, it should help you avoid the mistakes that hold artists back in the first place. This is exactly why RouteNote exists. RouteNote helps you distribute your music to streaming services and social platforms around the world, helping you reach listeners wherever they are. If you want to understand how your music is performing, RouteNote Trends offers in-depth analytics for Spotify and Apple Music, with more insights found within the RouteNote app to help you track your growth and inform your strategy moving forward. If you're worried about complicated agreements, RouteNote gives artists flexible distribution options with clear, transparent terms and crucially, no hidden fees. And if you're trying to learn more about the music industry, the RouteNote blog and RouteNote Support Hub are designed to help artists make informed decisions about their career, spanning anything from release tips and beyond. Not to mention, our videos like this on YouTube are here to help too. In other words, the same mistakes we've discussed today are the same challenges RouteNote was built to help solve. Because music distribution should be about more than getting your music online, it should help you build a stronger music career. If there's one thing to remember from this video, it's this: a successful release isn't just about making great music, it's about giving great music the best possible chance to succeed. Be available everywhere, pay attention to your data, understand your agreements, and don't try to learn everything alone. Do those things consistently and you'll already be ahead of most artists. So if you're getting ready to release your next track, EP, or album, sign up for free at RouteNote.com today to start distributing your music to platforms worldwide. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to check out the rest of the RouteNote channel as well as the RouteNote blog for more tips on growing your music career. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.